Hello friends, myself Ravi and today I am here with my Viva topic that is interface. So today's date 11th of the August 2022 and so we will talk about interface. So in my recent video I had talked about OOP concepts in which I have already talked about abstraction. So what is abstraction? Abstraction means hiding of data. In simple word we can say hiding of data from the client or from the user, etc. So we abstraction we perform in we can perform in two ways, that is with class and with interface. So in today's video we will talk about interface and some basic difference also between the class and interface also. So the first difference or point we can say when we perform abstraction in class, our class may contain abstract method as well as non-abstract methods, and we can create a static main method also in our abstract class. So in our abstract class, it is not necessary to mention or to write only abstract method, or to write or we can't write it. It doesn't mean that in abstract class we doesn't write our non-abstract methods. So our abstract class can contain abstract methods, it may contain non-abstract, and also it may contain main method also. But as we know, when we define our abstract class, we can't create the object of abstract class, so we have to inherit it to another child class, and through that class we first create the object of that child class, and we access, or sorry, not we access, we in which we give the body of the defined or derived defined functions or method in which are already defined in abstract class. So this is process for class. But now we will talk about interface. Interface means, in interface the difference is like that. In interface it contain only abstract methods. So but as we know, abstract methods means it doesn't have its body. So in abstract class we have to define abstract keyword before the method, but in interface it is not required to mention abstract keyword before any method, because it is by default public. Its access modifier is public, and it is by default let's say abstract method, so it doesn't have body. So in interface we can say every method is an abstract method, except because after Java 8, Java contains some more features that in which we can define default method also, in which we have body of that method. After Java 9 we can say we can define some private methods also in our interface. But what is interface? Interface, it is a we can say it is a communication, or it is a deal between client and developer. So suppose there is a client and it comes to an developer, so it will he or she will ask the developer that he or she want some software in which there must be the functionality of input username and its phone number, and it has some functionality to show username and phone number. So as we know, the developer will just first create some interface in which he will just mention or declare two methods that are which input method, in which in just input method name declaration without body, and another method which is show method. So it will using that interface, we can say interface is a blueprint of class. Using interface the methods are declared or derived, the body of methods are declared or derived in the we can say in class. So there is syntax like like we do when we do inheritance, that is extends. But in inheritance, when the class implements the property of inheritance, we have to use the keyword that is implement. means class name implements interface name. So this is syntax for implementing the property of interface. So using that, after that there must be the user must contain two methods, which are that are for example, as I have already talked about the example of client and developer, the client requirement input and output. So there must be two methods, which first method must be that input method and second must be output method. Both method must have its body. So if one method have its body and other don't have its body, so our class became another abstract class. So we must have to declare or give the body of both the methods inside that class. So using that, in first method we will define some code in which we get the input from user and we insert the username and phone number. In the next method, that we will show the methods and username of that username. And after that, in another class or in that class also, we can, using main function, we will create the object of that class. Suppose our interface name is I1 and our class name which implement the I1 is class name is suppose test, and our main class is present in my class. So in my class we will create an object of test class. Using object of test class, we will call the function or call the method of that input. After that, we will call the method of show using test object. So with this, we will call the methods and function of that methods of that class, and which are implemented by interface. So this is a syntax to call the methods of class, but which are implemented from interface. Another way we can do that, we can create the reference of interface, but we will pass the address of objects. Suppose we can say, for example, we can do like that. When we create object of class, the syntax is like that: class object name equals to new constructor. So but in another way we can do that: interface name equals to, we will pass the object, or we can say the address of class. Suppose our interface name is I1, so we can do that interface I1 interface name is I1 space, we can say I1 we can say that I1 space object of I1 equals to, we will pass the reference or address of object of class, so equals to new our class name, that is test. So using that, we can call the methods of we will call the methods present in the class, but using the we can say reference variable or of interface. The syntax will be like that: I1 dot method 1 which I1 dot input and I1 dot output. Using that, we can perform abstraction. In interface, we can perform another features, that is of OOP, that is of inheritance. OOP, which is we can say multiple inheritance, in which they from two class or two class we will inherit the properties of one class, inherit the properties of two class. But in class, using class we can't do that, but using interface we can do that. Because suppose our there is two interfaces, I1 and I2, and the another way, that is, it is class, my class, and my class can inherit or implement the properties of both the I1 and I2. So syntax is like that: class name, that is my class, implement I1 comma I2. So using that, our I1 and I2 or class, my class, can inherit the properties or the functionalities of interface, both the interfaces, that is I1 and I2. So using that, we can perform multiple inheritance in Java, but with the help of interface. So I think I have talked about or told you about interface, and I like to stop here, and thank you.